There are certain words that do not sound dangerous at first. They feel ordinary, familiar, even caring. But sometimes, hidden inside simple phrases is something far more unsettling, something that does not come from love or concern, but from control. And if you have ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, guilty, or suddenly unsure of your own reality, you may have heard these words before without realizing what they meant. Carl Jung spent his life exploring what lives beneath human behavior, beneath politeness, beneath morality, beneath the masks people wear to function in society. What he discovered was unsettling. Words are not only tools for communication, they are windows into the unconscious mind. And sometimes they reveal attempts to control another person's inner world. Before we talk about the words themselves, you need to understand the psychology behind emotional manipulation. Because manipulation rarely looks aggressive. It does not shout. It does not announce itself openly. Instead, it moves quietly, gradually, almost invisibly. According to Jung, every person carries a shadow, the parts of themselves they refuse to accept: fear, jealousy, insecurity, the need for control. The shadow itself is not evil, but when it remains unconscious, it seeks expression indirectly, and one of its favorite tools is language. A manipulative person rarely says, "I want to control you." Instead, they use words that make you question yourself, words that shift emotional weight onto your shoulders, words that blur boundaries without ever sounding openly hostile. Over time, confusion grows, and confusion creates dependence. One phrase sounds like concern: "You're too sensitive." At first, it feels like feedback, but psychologically something important happens. The focus moves away from their behavior and onto your reaction. Your pain becomes the problem, not their actions. Another phrase sounds caring: "I'm only saying this because I care about you." It feels warm on the surface, but underneath it can act as protection from accountability. If you resist, you appear ungrateful, and they keep the moral high ground. Then comes guilt. "After everything I've done for you." Notice what happens inside you when you hear it. The conversation shifts instantly. You are no longer discussing boundaries, you are defending your worth. Guilt lowers resistance, and manipulation thrives there. Sometimes the words create uncertainty. Maybe you're remembering it wrong. That's not what happened. Repeated often enough, these phrases slowly erode trust in your own perception. This is not simple disagreement. This is the beginning of gaslighting, an attempt to replace your reality with theirs. Jung believed projection plays a major role here. People unable to face their own insecurity often place it onto others. They call you selfish while ignoring their own selfishness. They call you dramatic to avoid facing your pain. What you hear is not truth. It is their shadow speaking through words. One of the most subtle manipulative phrases sounds harmless: "I guess I'm just a terrible person then." Suddenly, you stop expressing your hurt and start comforting the person who hurt you. The focus shifts, accountability disappears, the cycle continues. Emotional manipulation is rarely random. It protects the ego. It avoids vulnerability. It maintains control without open conflict. And because these words are often spoken calmly, you begin to doubt yourself. You wonder if you are overreacting. But manipulation does not always sound harsh. Sometimes it sounds reasonable. And here's Jung's critical insight. People who manipulate emotionally rarely see themselves as manipulative. The mind is skilled at self-deception. They justify their behavior internally. They believe they are helping, correcting, or protecting. But intention does not erase impact. Over time, repeated words change something inside the listener. You hesitate before speaking. You apologize more than you should. You second-guess your instincts. This is how emotional control takes root, not through force, but through repetition. If you are recognizing these phrases now, it doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are becoming aware, and awareness is the moment manipulation begins to lose power. So what would Jung tell you to do? Not revenge, not aggression, but clarity. Trust the emotional signals inside you. Observe words, not only for what they say, but for what they make you feel. Set boundaries calmly. Speak with certainty. Say, "That doesn't feel respectful to me." Do not over-explain. Manipulation feeds on emotional reaction. Clarity starves it. Most importantly, do not internalize words designed to control you. Their projections are not your identity. Their guilt is not your responsibility. Healing begins when you separate what belongs to you from what never did. The person using these words may never admit what they are doing, but you do not need their confession to reclaim your peace. Listen carefully, because words reveal intentions long before actions do. Sometimes the most dangerous control is not loud. It speaks softly, it sounds reasonable, and it hides in everyday language. If this message reached you, it means you are not here for comfort. You are here for clarity, and clarity is the first step towards freedom. Remember this: emotional manipulation only works in darkness. Awareness is light, and once you see it clearly, you cannot be controlled the same way again.